When the gargle started, I remember some sound came. Something is coming. So he just told, Saab, 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 Dar ghuso, bed ke the ghuso. He just went inside the bed, and by the time I was going in below the bed, splitter came and just hit my ears. Lekin my ears ko what cut yahan.
Kargil War.
Kargil Youth.
Kargil Youth. Kargil War.
1999, this place became the center of much international intrigue and war between India and Pakistan.
My boss told we have a crisis in Siachen Glacier. We have to go there as a debt commander. Almost 1 year of service, the detachment commander for Air Force. Making decision was tough. That moment I realized I am in a place where I always wanted to be.
January 24, 2017. It was a very normal day and you were going to work like other usual days. What happened on that day?
Kismat kharab. I was driving, front tire got punctured.
So you were alone that time?
No, we were two postmates. He was sitting beside me and I was driving. It just skidded and went off the road and just fall off around 70 to 80. My hand was broken. It was actually broken in two halves.
Oh.
And it was all the glasses from the panel which came and pierced my hand.
तो ये सब कुछ कितने fraction of seconds के अंदर हुआ होगा?
5 to 6 seconds something. That was the reaction time what I think. We were in hospital for almost 3 months. Self and my co-mate both were. And doctors came, so he diagnosed that it is a spinal cord injury. That time also I didn't realize what is spinal cord injury, what can affect. Told that it is nerves are damaged or something. That's why our legs are not working. It is spinal cord injury is like a fracture only. Some plaster will be done. I'll be okay within 2 days. But it was a serious thing. That time also I didn't realize it is a very serious matter. I will not be able to walk for rest of my life.
We often highlight the heroism it takes to serve in the Indian Armed Forces. What it takes to serve in the Indian Armed Forces is courage, discipline, and strength. But what happens when life turns and everything you are built seems to fall apart? Today, we are sharing the story of someone who has lived both sides of that journey. Today's story isn't just about the service. It's about finding a new purpose when everything you knew is stripped away. I am Ikta Kundu, and joining me is someone I deeply respect, Wing Commander Shantanu, an Air Force officer, a survivor, and India's first para-rover of India and IAF. Shantanu sir, it's truly an honor to have you with us today. So take us back to your early years. You were raised in an academic home, tried different career paths, but something kept calling you towards the forces. So what did that inner voice sound like at that time?
Actually, when I was, I come from a middle class family, and my mother was a teacher, now professor, retired now,
Yeah.
and my father was a businessman, and I had a younger brother. I did my graduation from Patna only, and schooling and everything was done in Patna, Bihar.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a concept was that after you do a 12th,
Yes.
the line was either medical or engineering.
Huh.
Or if you do graduation, it is, they don't call it, we don't study, in fact, ABCD.
Huh. Huh.
We directly study IAS.
Yes. Yes.
So I also went in the same line, like medical, I should do medical because there were few doctors in my family.
Okay.
I started doing coaching of medical for 6 months. I realized that it is not gelling up with my personality or my attitude. Still I did. Let's see. In the meantime, I gave NDA. We were 5 of close friends in Patna.
Yeah.
All together, we gave NDA. Meantime, I was doing my medicals, like what they call coaching and everything. That time, what happened? 3 of my friends got through NDA.
Oh.
I also got through NDA.
Huh.
I didn't qualify for the interview.
Oh, okay.
Then I realized that they asked nothing, in fact. But why didn't I qualify? So that kept on bogging me now and then. I continued with my graduation. After I gave medical exams and everything.
Yes.
Even I gave AIMS, BHU, everything.
Oh, okay, okay.
But then I felt it is not gelling up with my personality. In the meantime, when I was doing graduation, part 1, part 2, I was changing my attitude.
Okay.
Was what I felt in when I didn't qualify for India, I realized it was the attitude which matters.
Right.
Everything, because they didn't ask anything, any
Correct.
very difficult questions or something, or very hard physical thing or something. It was the attitude which matters.
Yes.
And attitude can't be changed in one day.
Correct. Yes.
I worked on the attitude only for almost 2 years.
Oh, nice.
I gave my graduation from Patna University.
Okay.
And after doing my graduation in the same year, 97, I gave CDS.
Okay.
I qualified for CDS, went for interview, and in one go out of 180 people were there for the interview. That is SSB. And only one was selected.
Oh.
It happened. It is the most toughest interview, I think, in India
Yes. Yes.
or in the world, I suppose, which continues for 5 days.
Oh.
You have to stay there, eat there,
Okay.
and you are continuously monitored.
Monitored. Yeah.
Even if a mistake or something, some attitude,
Yeah.
you can't hide.
Ha.
One day you can hide your personality,
Right,
2 days,
Exactly.
but you can't hide for 5 days staying there. I stayed there, and I've already changed in last 3 years,
Yes.
attitude and personality. And I thought it is up to the mark what they want,
Right.
because I realized when I was in 12th, I realized what was my mistake.
Right.
And when I gave the interview, it was in Varanasi. So almost after screening and everything, almost 60 or 70 people were there. I was sitting in the first row because my chest number was 1.
Oh.
They called by chest number.
Oh. Okay.
And they give a lecture. Amitabh Bachchan also came, and he didn't got selected, and he's a superstar. They tell all this thing.
Yeah.
And he was there in Amitabh Bachchan also from Varanasi only.
Yeah.
Were rejected.
Right.
And I was sitting there, they gave a lecture and everything, and they finally told me only one is selected.
Oh.
And that moment I was thinking कि आने जाने का पैसा देते हैं, इसलिए मैं बनारस घूमने आ गया.
Yes.
Then they told you only one is selected, chest number 1. And I was in a different state. I was not concentrating on what he is telling.
Right.
So I was just near the gate door. I got up and I was walking out. I thought he has told you are not selected. Then the officer, he called me.
Yes.
Where are you going? I told him, sir, nahi हुआ, जा रहे हैं. Bola, you are the only one selected.
Amazing.
Then I just went there, and from afternoon till night filled all the forms. I ever called to my mother.
Yes.
I am selected. The first thing was, झूठ बोल रहे हो, कैसे हो सकता है?
Common Indian parents.
कॉमन कि एवरेज स्टूडेंट ये अब कैसे हो गया? I thought that नहीं, I will go and explain.
Yeah.
But in 5 days, what happened? We got a bonding with all the 3-4 other guys who came. They were not selected, and there were people who tried for almost SSB. There was the what you call 6 attempts, 7 attempts. ऐसे लोग थे वहाँ पर. I was very lucky as my attitude matters. I had changed my attitude.
Yeah. Right.
And that was the thing. उसके बाद तो I went on training and everything.
बस गाड़ी start हो गई.
गाड़ी start हो गई.
Amazing. So when you finally earned the uniform, what did that moment mean for you? Can you please tell what was the clarity in your mind that was going on that time?
Actually, earning the uniform, I always wanted to wear a uniform, either a defense or a police or a, what you call paramilitary. But defense uniform I always wanted. And the fact was, okay, what is the uniform madly? Because once I was told that when I was doing graduation and people were telling IS ka zyada, you get more weightage for becoming an IS and than the uniform. Then I said, somebody asked me and I just replied to him. The basic which starts in the IAS was 8,000 rupees that time, and the basic of a defense officer is 8250, 250 रुपए ज़्यादा है. That was not telling about the money. It was telling about the defense uniform is always higher than the IAS, and the responsibility is more than the IAS officer. I'm not comparing both the things, but what I feel, that mentality was there. And the hard work and the discipline which I got through the training. I was just waiting when the time will come when I will wear a uniform. We were almost wearing a uniform only, but we were called flight cadets. It is not the badges or anything where the ribbons which matters, the medals which matters. The most thing is the rank. Uniform is there, but we wear on our shoulders like flight cadet tags. The tags, or okay, you are called a flight cadet, but when you wear a uniform, when that cadet thing is removed and your shoulders are put on rank, the shoulders become heavy actually with the responsibilities which come. And when the day came, I was about to cry actually. Now I am from a flight cadet, now I'm a flying officer with a responsibility.
So you served in Siachen during the Kargil War, which is one of the most extreme conditions on earth. Would you like to share your experience with all of us?
When the Kargil started, I almost completed 9 or 11 months of service. I was posted in Pathankot, and I was the youngest there in Pathankot, young officer. And the war started. I was very thrilled, but I never knew what will be my role in that. But every individual is very eager. The youngster जोश रहता है, यार लड़ाई होगी, अब तो कुछ करता है, कुछ तो होगा. Suddenly my boss told me my senior told me, you have to go to Azampur. You have been detailed to go to Azampur. Because they shipped a manpower from one place to another place, where the requirement is there, and very short notice. I went to Azampur, stayed there for one day. The Kargil already it was just starting. I went to Azampur, stayed there for one day. Okay, now you are not required here because we have the manpower. Now you go to Chandigarh. I told okay. The helicopter was there. They took me to Chandigarh. I went to Chandigarh, stayed there for 2 days. Okay, now the thing is you go to Leh. Leh, I knew what is Leh, where it is, but I've never been there. I knew it was very cold there. I went there. I just took a aircraft and went to Leh. Leh, I stayed there for 1 week. 2 days acclimatization there because of high altitude. It is 10,840 feet. Went there, it was cold, 2 days acclimatization. War was starting, everything was going on. My boss told me now the thing is, we have a crisis in Siachen Glacier and you have to go there as a det commander. Almost 1 year of service and as a detachment commander for Air Force. I was sent to Siachen Glacier.
तो आप बता सकते हैं कि what is a deck commander?
Detachment commander, like we are a total of 5 officers there. 4 helicopter pilots and one is for controlling and making the operations there. Who will go, will not go, weather is good, chopper should be launched or not. Is there any threat there? So I have to take decision. I am a younger one, my seniors are there as a chopper pilot, but decision I have to take, whether I have to send them or not. The responsibility as a flying officer was great actually. And when making decision was tough. Okay, I went there. As soon as I landed there, the temperature was minus 35.
Minus 35?
Minus 35. I didn't have any clothes, but they give the glacier, they give, and it is that is attached with army. There are 2 army units. I will not go in detail, but there are army units which are deployed on the glacier. So I given that clothing with that snow clothing and everything, boots and everything. The thing was that as soon as I landed, and there was a what you call Sahayak is given to you, who takes care of you. So as soon as I landed there, he told me, "Saab, tagda raho." So I was very surprised. Tagda raho, I am very weak or something. So it is a saying actually, every regiment has got tagda raho, Jai Maa Kali or something. Then I realized it's a tagda raho. So he took to my room, like igloo type of room is there. He took my room and shelling was going on.
Oh.
And I remember some sound came. "Mm." And he knew actually. This was my first time. He knew कि something is coming and it will land somewhere पास में कहीं पर. So he just told साहब बेड के नीचे कुछ वो अपने उसमें अपने स्टाइल में बोला साहब जी वो अंदर घुसो बेड के अंदर घुसो. I was removing taking out my shoes actually.
It's just a object.
हाँ जब पहुंचे थे वो रूम में वो सामान रखा. So he just went inside the bed and by the time I was going inside below the bed, the splitter came and just hit my ears. And just I was just a bit.
छोटी सी.
हाँ लेकिन my ears got cut यहाँ से left ear. And I just went inside below the bed and I saw खून गिर रहा है and because of the cold it became numb actually.
Yes.
I thought कि अब आते ही कुछ something has happened now. I mean it was like an adventure. I came out, everything was okay. तो आज और सब कुछ नहीं है. That moment I realized कि I am in a place where I always wanted to be.
Yeah.
And then everything got settled down, got dressing done and everything. Then the thing started and the action began. We were in bunkers, spending night. Snowfall was there.
Yeah.
Almost 8 feet of snowfall. And it is a valley, in fact. You are inside the valley and you are isolated. Day, night, you have got shellings there. And that thing is actually what you call Kargil, what you hear, that is Kargil. Operation Vijay, Operation Sabhay Sagar by Air Force. But there is an operation which is called Operation, but nobody knows. It is Operation Meghdut, which is going all throughout the year. So that was the thing. I thought it is Kargil, Operation Vijay or Operation Sabhay Sagar, which is Air Force called it. But it was Operation Meghdut combined with that. We were fighting two wars together. Siachen plus the Kargil.
Right. So let's talk about January 24, 2017. It was a very normal day and you were going to work like other usual days. Would you like to tell us what happened on that day?
It was actually, what do you call, Kismat Kharat thi. Actually, what happened on 20, I'll just start from 23rd what happened. I was in our office and it was around 3 o'clock.
इस साइड पे कहाँ पर थे?
I was in posted in Hashimara. That is near to Bhutan border.
All right.
And on 23rd, there was a road in front of my office, which was getting repaired.
Okay.
And a new road. So some with the charcoal they put after completing the road they put sand for drying it up and everything. My car fell in there around 80 to 100 feet down below. The car skidded and I was driving and my front tire got punctured.
So you were alone that time?
No, we were two postmates.
Okay. All right.
He was sitting beside me and I was driving. And it just skidded and went off the road and just fell in the what do you call the
Barry.
near the Indus, which is it was a fall of around 70 to 80 feet.
Oh.
My hand was broken. It was actually broken in two halves.
Oh.
And it was all the glasses from the panel which came and pierced my hand, right hand, and we were in hospital for almost 3 months. Self and my coachman both were. He broke his jaw. His name is Muthu Krishnan Dureidaj.
Oh, he's a South Indian.
Yeah, South Indian. Tinalveli. He broke his jaw and he had a plate in his cheekbones. I had a plate in my hand. We were there in Chandi Mandir, Chandigarh Command Hospital for 3 months. Then we recovered. That was thing. I was greatly drive a bike in Hashimara. So I was just packing up after my duty in Hashimara. And just came on that road, which was just recently built, just completed
Yeah.
within nearly half an hour back.
Huh.
So there was an welfare there's a Jawan called SW, Station Welfare Officer. So he was on his scooter. So I told him ki do one thing in the early morning, get it cleared. Because at that time I was officiating as the Chief Administrative Officer in Hashimara.
Okay.
So I told him ki just get it cleared
Huh.
in the early morning because वहाँ पर sunrise is early.
Huh.
So working hours starts from morning 6:30.
Oh.
I told ki call somebody by 6 o'clock and get it cleared because people pass from here
Huh.
and they might skid
Correct. Huh.
because of the sand and the pebbles which are there.
Huh. Huh.
Then I went home, normal life,
Mm.
normal routine. Woke up a morning, got ready,
Mm.
came through the same route, and at the same point where I told,
इसको क्लीन करो
इसको clean करो, ये करो.
करो
At the same point, I was the first person to skid and went off the road. The bike went off the road and there was a ditch parallel to the road. The bike got stuck in the ditch and nothing else happened. I was wearing helmet. I was sitting on the bike.
हाँ
I like okay ठीक है बाइक रुक गई है.
तो ये सब कुछ कितने फ्रैक्शन ऑफ सेकंड्स के अंदर हुआ होगा
5 to 6 seconds something.
That's it.
That was the reaction time. What I think. Because when it's left right skid
हाँ
and went into the ditch.
हाँ
And the bike was straight. I was sitting in bike. I removed my helmet. And as soon as I wanted to get off the bike, my leg were numb. I thought ki some fracture or something is there. It got numb. And this was the morning time, so people were passing from there.
हाँ
So they saw me.
दे सो
So they took me out of the bike and they shifted me to a car and went to Station Medical Center. There some discussion was there and everything.
ब्लीडिंग आल्सो
No bleeding, no scratch, nothing.
ओह
I was just my legs got numb.
ओनली नंबर
Only numb. So the legs got numb and I was taken to Station Medical Center. There I was on a stretcher and doctors came. One senior doctor, one was slightly junior to her. So he diagnosed ki it is a spinal cord injury. That time also I didn't realize ki what is spinal cord injury, what can affect. Because he told ki it is some nerves are damaged or something. That's why our legs are not working. So that time also I was very pretty think okay like it is a spinal cord injury is like a fracture only. Some plaster will be done and I'll be okay within few days. But it was a serious thing. That time also I didn't realize it is a very serious matter. I will not be able to walk for rest of my life. It's okay, but still my something was there ki okay, the time will pass and I'll walk. My power in the leg will come. They told ki we can't do anything here. You have to go to nearest bigger hospital. That was Binaguri. And actually the tragedy starts from there. I was sent there in a ambulance by road. The road was pathetic. It was almost 100 kilometers from 80 kilometers from Hashimara. I went there. They told we don't have facility for this spinal cord injury. Either you go back to Hashimara or you go to Bagdogra. That is the nearest base hospital. Now the thing was building up. I didn't knew what to do now. Actually, my parents were also there at that time in Hashimara with me. And they were supposed to leave that day only. So my seniors called them up. They were with me that time. In Hashimara also. And they were with me in ambulance when we went to Binaguri. That is nearest hospital, military hospital. Now it was a very critical situation. Either to go back another 80 kilometers or to go to Bagdogra, that is another 100 kilometers from there. Then I gave a call to headquarters. They provided me with a Mi-70, that is the airlift, for me to go from Binaguri to Bagdogra. And you just imagine the timeline, how it happened. It happened morning 6:30 and I'm still running around. And so I was airlifted from Binaguri thankful to Air Force who gave me an airlift. I reached to base hospital, that is Bengdubi in Bagdogra. There they helped me a lot, but the facilities were not there to take care of me at that moment because the doctors said the facilities in Command Hospital, Calcutta. So you have to go to Command Hospital, Calcutta. But there were some good specialists in Bengdubi, who just had a look and checked me up. I don't remember they did an X-ray or did X-ray or they checked me up because I didn't have any sensation below my chest. But they found something, I am not very sure. They found something ki some internal bleeding is going on. So what they did ki an airlift was arranged for me by Air Force, a medical ambulance. And by that time it was around I think 9 or 10 o'clock in the night. Some internal bleeding was going on. So on the right side of my chest, they did a puncture. And I think they have found out that the bleeding is going in my lungs. So they did a puncture and put a tube and they took out the blood. And one bottle was hanging like this. All the blood was passing by and it happened and around 11:30, 12 o'clock, air ambulance landed in Bagdogra. I was airlifted in air ambulance and shifted to Command Hospital, Calcutta. I reached Command Hospital, Calcutta approximately 2:30 or 3 o'clock. Landed there, went to Command Hospital. Immediately I was put up in CT scan. I was conscious the whole time. When I came out of the CT scan, the doctor said, I still remember that word. How you are alive? So I asked him, sir, what happened? He said, your 4 ribs are broken of right side and 3 or 4 from the left side. And 1 is punctured your lungs. I thought, great. Nothing to say, I'm still alive. I was shifted to ICU. Morning 10, 11 o'clock, operation was planned. By the time Sujata was there in Bagdogra, and they were taking a flight to come to Calcutta Command Hospital. In the meantime, my brother reached. As soon as I was entering the
hospital,
operation theater, my brother arrived. He told, okay, everything will be fine. My parents were on the way. She was on the way. I went for the operation theater. I was normal. So I was given anesthesia. I was conscious till the time I was given anesthesia. Uske baad I was operated. And now the story starts ki when I got operated, I went in coma. And after that, 25th, the operation was there. After that, I don't remember anything what happened. After that, Sujata knows what happened and what she told me. And finally, I got conscious in March. The whole time I was in coma. And that was the part when I realized what happens when a person dies. I came to know everything. I realized everything when I got the consciousness. I remember the thing in coma I was sleeping, I was eating, I was walking, I was following a routine in coma. And that is a thing I can't explain. Nobody can explain.
Nobody, yes.
And nobody can feel it.
Yes.
I almost died. After that, when I got conscious in March, it was like hallucination. I got another life, or I am still in coma, or I am not.
You were still in Command Hospital?
I was still in Command Hospital, Calcutta only. Then I was told that you can't walk. And that time, for a few days, I was still on bed, feeded by nose, was on ventilator. So it was a thing, nobody should go feel or go through it. But I'm happy I'm alive after all these things.
Yes. So all this while, like when you heard about your family story कि ये सब कुछ हुआ, so how did you feel when after coming to consciousness ये सारी चीजें हुई है, तो आपको कैसे लगा था उस टाइम पर?
That time I still knew that I will not be able to walk.
शायद believe ही नहीं हो रहा.
I was not believing I
Reality
I'll
है.
be, I will walk again. I will not be able to walk. I'll be on wheelchair throughout my life. I thought कि ठीक है हो जाएगा. I work on it and it will happen and I'll be okay. But still I was not very sure कि what is spinal cord injury, how it will affect my life. And when I was coma, one thing I forgot to tell. Sujata always told me. She used to tell me in years, like you have to live. And I used to hear that.
तो आपको सुनाई देता था.
सुनाई देता था वो. I was there. सुनाई देता था, but I can't speak.
Response.
I can't respond. I think that made a very big difference.
Definitely. So if you just close your eyes and revisit those moments at the Siachen Glacier during the 1999 operations, you were waiting, listening for the sounds of helicopters returning from a mission in the valley where the air is thin. So what was it like to go from the rhythm of robot blades to the silence of recovery? How did the silence speak to you?
Actually, when I got conscious back, it was a total silence impact. In my life, it was silence. Pin drop silence. Now only the mind was working whether what will happen in future. I was almost normal actually that time. I was in a state where I was just thinking कि ये ठीक हो जाएगा. अभी भी there is a chance. It is a spinal cord injury. It will be okay.
Yes.
I have to work hard. I'll be back. Silence was there. Obviously, staying in hospital for so many days, and nothing around. Only seeing doctors, nurses, ventilator. So you are in a different situation altogether. But when I heard about the military hospital Khadki where I'll go for rehabilitation, I was sure I'll go there. And in the rehabilitation, I will work hard, and I will be fine. And I'll be back in my routine. So that was the thing. There's nothing abnormal I was feeling कि I will not walk or something. Still there was a hope. I will go to rehabilitation and there people get okay.
Get better.
Get better, and I will also be better. I'll come back to my basic normal life.
तो आई जस्ट हैव अ क्वेश्चन कि इतने टाइम तक कितना वक्त हो चुका था कि रिहैबिलिटेशन में जाना है एंड ऑल दिस?
January it happened, and almost 3 months.
3 months. Okay.
Out of that, 2 months I was in coma.
Goa. Yes.
1 month was there, and 1 month I was just thinking about this only. When the first time I went outside, so somebody was carrying a doctor was carrying a ventilator. It told the doctors were very nice there. We just like friends. We became just like friends. And when the ventilator was removed, I was unable to speak because I had a tracheostomy here in my neck.
Yes.
So that was another very what do you call different type of situation. Because when I used to speak, air used to come from this side. So there was no voice. So I thought I will not be able to speak also. Not able to walk, not able to speak. So when doctor came and he gave me some instrument to blow it, some 3 balls were there.
Yes.
To blow it.
Yes.
When all the 3 balls will go up, then we'll remove this. So I tried my best. Karte 1 week, all the balls were up. Now what he did, he inverted the balls. He told now to suck the balls and bring it up. I thought ye kya chakkar hai? And I did that. After some time, they removed the tracheostomy and everything. That was another thing, another victory for me. Now I can speak, so then I can walk also.
Yes.
And there was an incident also there in Command Hospital. One day I told Sujata कि when the tracheostomy निकल जाएगा and everything will be fine, I will have a burger, samosa and burger. And the doctor said, हाँ, we will give you burger and
burger party होगा.
हाँ, burger party. And I did a burger party nicely.
Amazing. If your why is strong enough, then how will reveal itself automatically. So how was that for you? If you can just enlighten us that what was the reason which made you take the decision that yes, I have to get better.
Actually, why is a process and how is a method how we will do it. So when I was shifted from transferred from Command Hospital to MS Kitki Hospital Khadki for rehabilitation, that is the only spinal cord injury center for Army, Navy, Air Force.
Okay.
Whoever gets injured in war or anything, they come here for rehabilitation. So when I reached there, initially I was on bed only. Till the time I get some strength, I was lean and thin, underweight. I was unable to stand also. Stand with the help of walker also I was unable to stand. And there is a what you call exercise center, what you call ADL, there in Military Hospital, Kadpi, for rehabilitation. We have got what you call a specialist, occupational therapist there. Dr. Sameer Ranjan is name. तो ही मोटिवेटेड मी कि सर आप कर सकते हो, धीरे धीरे आप करो, एक्सरसाइज करो, ये करो. What happened? There are almost 70 to 80 spinal cord injury patients there for rehabilitation. And that time only 3-4 officers were there. Spinal cord injury, some paraplegic, and some quadriplegic. I continued there. I came in March, April, May, June. I had some strength. Same routine, morning going there, doing exercise, coming back, again on bed, afternoon rest, again going back. And by all this time, Sujata was there with me, giving me motivation.
Yes.
I didn't have any clue what to do now, how much time it will take. Because I was not very sure whether it will take 4 months, 5 months, a year to get me back on my feet. Now, in June, there was my birthday was there. So she planned to go to a mall. I said, ठीक है, wheelchair पर ही हैं, ठीक है, चलते हैं. We went to a mall and within 30 minutes, I went there, saw people. I was literally crying. Seeing people all around, walking, going, enjoying and doing what we do in mall. हम भी यही करते थे.
Emotionally बहुत hit.
Emotionally, that was a very setback for me. I just told guys, I don't want to stay here in mall. Just go back, come back to hospital. I came back to hospital. I didn't go outside my room, even to do exercise, for almost 15-20 days.
काफी depression type.
Depression, that time depression got inside me when I went outside. And that was a time I was just lying in my bed. I was just thinking, now what should I do? I am a person who can't sit in one place. Now also. Now they're different, that I will tell you later. I can't sit in one place. I like to do adventure.
Yes.
Now 15-20 days I was just thinking how to get my motivation back. Self-motivation is the best motivation. Somebody tells me, I will not, I'm not criticizing anyone.
Yes.
But nobody can be a motivation speaker. Nobody in the world can change you.
Yeah, definitely.
If you don't want to change.
Yes. 100%.
So I don't like this concept of motivational speaker. First of all, I'm telling with my heart, he will tell you about something which has never happened to him.
True.
Not all of them,
Yes.
but mostly.
Yes.
they go through books and they will tell you something very philosophical,
Right.
and you will tell, I am motivated. It is self-motivation is the best motivation. Because in that 15 days, I realized, okay, I have to do something. I can't die sitting in a bed, lying in a bed, or in one room, and I will not do anything. Then I went to ADL, I spoke to Ranjan sir, and Colonel Vyom Sharma was there, who was looking officer IC of that, in charge of the rehabilitation process of each and every individual.
Yes.
Commandant was there, was very helpful, Military After Kharki. Even Air Force helped me with providing me attendants to help me out. That time I started my hydrotherapy. I told hydrotherapy is an exercise in the water, like swimming and doing exercise in water. I knew swimming from before. There's a paraplegic rehabilitation center just behind MS Kirki. I went there, it's a very small pool, 15-20 meters of pool. I started doing swimming. First of all, I was scared to go inside water, कि अब I will drown.
Yeah.
I went there, did swimming. People there were very helpful. They were in charge. Colonel Mukherjee is there. He is very helpful. He told, anytime you want, you can come here. I started doing exercise, 1 round, 2 round of this 20-meter pool. So some confidence came and improvement was there. Sensation, I didn't have any sensation in my body. Sensation was coming. And I feel very trying to motivated. Then people, there was late A.D. Pereira was there. He was an international swimmer also. He was also a paraplegic. He is no more. He told कि सर आप कंपटीशन में पार्ट लो स्विमिंग में यू कैन डू हम बोले सर आप मजाक करो कहाँ 20 मीटर पूल में he told कि now what you do 1 lap 2 lap you do 50 laps non-stop in 20 meter pool so you get stamina also. I told okay sir I will try. It took me almost a month. I did it. Then I went to Bombay Engineering Group. I took permission and there it's a 50-meter international pool, Olympic side. I'm telling very frankly, 50-meter pool I was scared actually. If there I will definitely drown. So I started 20-meter pool mein you can stop in one end. Where will you stop?
Almost double the distance.
Correct.
से भी ज़्यादा.
Double से ज़्यादा ही हो गया. I started करते it took me another 1 month, 2 months. 50 meters से 100 meters हुआ. I told 50 meters I completed. Reason हुआ because you have become breathless and everything हो नहीं पाता था. I told 50 meters when I started doing in a stretch of 50 meters. I started doing 100 meters now.
अब तो अचीवमेंट लग रहा था ना.
हाँ 50 किया तो 100 भी हो जाएगा. 50, 100, 150. A time came when I was doing non-stop
Wow.
1 kilometer.
1 kilometer.
1 kilometer non-stop. During that time when I took part in this Maharashtra state level
हाँ.
competition.
So अब तो ये अब और रिहैब नहीं रहा. I think अब तो आप उस लेवल से काफी आगे जा चुके हैं where you are in the competitive level. You are seeing, you know, a lot of growth in yourself कि now you have reached somewhere.
Actually, it was still a rehab. It was still a rehab. It was a motivation.
Yes.
It was a motivation. It was still under rehab process.
हाँ.
But in rehab, when I can do,
Yes.
I was considering as a rehab only.
हाँ.
But rehab with in a good spirit or in a
Yeah.
motivated spirit.
Yes.
I still consider it as a rehab only. The state level part gave me another great boost.
Yes, definitely.
कि I can do it.
We should thank that doctor. Definitely.
I still thank
Yeah,
him actually.
absolutely.
Then I again took part to they told okay, you can do a state level, you try for national. So I was selected by services team. Services, they have got a special, their own team, swimming team. I took part in national. I won 2 gold medals there in national.
What are the distances that you participated?
One was 50 meters freestyle
Okay.
and one was 100 meters backstroke.
All right. Nice.
Actually, my concept was stamina is required.
Yes,
Because here everything is done. I have to do by my hand,
हाँ.
upper limbs.
Correct. Yes.
So I have to I have to have a strength in my arms, upper body with stamina.
Yes.
That is a thing for a paraplegic to continue his life. I have to compete in a competition for 50 meters. I am working on my stamina and strength of my upper limbs. I am doing 1 kilometer non-stop. I am getting stamina and strength in my upper limbs. That is rehabilitation. But when you go in a competition, you only have to do 50 meters. So that is easy for me.
Yeah.
That is like I am doing a normal
Simple.
50 meters swimming. That is very comfortable. 50 meters or 100 meters. तो मेरे लिए वो काफी था. I won 2 gold medals.
Yeah.
And after that, I started gym and everything. That was in Army Para Node. That is a sports rehabilitation for Army sports person. A very close friend of mine, Lieutenant Colonel Nitin Mehta is here,
Okay.
the officer I see of that node. He's a very close friend of mine. He has always supported me. And he told, sir, आप इधर आ जाओ, you do a gym here because that is wheelchair friendly. He has made a very nice gym there. For all, there are almost 50 odd, handicaps. But there is no one spinal cord. They are amputees. And a few of them are Olympic medalists also.
Oh.
This year one has got bronze in shot put. So they all are there and they call me, sir, आप आ जाओ, इधर ही करते हैं. That was a motivation.
Yes.
I started with them, gym, and I made my upper limb so strong that in the next national swimming competition, I participated in 3 events. That is backstroke, freestyle, and 2 backstrokes and 1 freestyle. That is 100 meters, 150 meters backstroke, and 100 meters freestyle. In all the 3 events, I got gold,
Oh, amazing.
and I broke 3 national records.
Oh, amazing. By what is the margin? Like कितने से?
Exactly, I don't remember, but it is still not broken actually.
Oh.
I think it was 1 minute 24 seconds, I think. When they are all the 3, because one was 124, I don't remember. But it is still not broken.
Yeah,
The record is still not broken. It's now 2 years now.
Yes.
And in the meantime, initially I forgot to tell you, I started that rowing actually. Initially, I started rowing also.
So how did this rowing journey start? Like.
Rowing actually, they were trying to get someone in rowing in a category called PR1. PR1 is a category where you can only row with your arms.
Oh.
Arms and shoulder. Upper limb only. You can't use your legs.
Oh, right. Okay.
And that is only spinal cord injury.
Okay.
And in that, what happens in India, they tried many people, but paraplegic, it is very difficult. I have done that, and it is very difficult for doing 50 meters or 100 meters in a swimming pool. But 2 kilometers in a boat, rowing with your hand is too difficult actually for the paraplegic.
Yes.
You have to have a stamina. And it is not just 2 kilometers, it is 2 kilometers in a competition. For practice, you have to do at least 14 kilometers in the morning, 14 kilometers in the afternoon. A minimum of 12
Yes.
in the morning, 12 in the afternoon. You have to do.
Yes.
I got there, actually I was on probation there, in fact, for 2 months. They thought I will not be able to do. I did it. I could continue 5 months. They told me, you are ready, you can go for the first paraplegic to represent India in the Asian Para Rowing Championship in South Korea. I went there. For my first time, I came 5th. Again in next Paralympic qualifier Tokyo for the Olympics. I went there, I came 4th. And I did all my best. and still continuing. I hope
Yes.
something happens. In the meantime, I also started breathing from the.
So in just 5 months, matlab, exploring an entire new sport, growing and then standing fifth, it's quite a achievement, right? Like you would have not thought about it, I guess.
Yeah, nothing is impossible. It is like when you start, you have to end. And when you have to end it very nicely, actually. I didn't thought it is 5 months or 4 months.
Yeah.
I have to do it, so do it. And I have to prove it. It is the same thing comes again. Why? It is a process and how
Yes.
is a method.
Yes.
How do you do it? And the same happened with Tokyo also. During the COVID, we had a 6 months camp. Within 6 months, I came fourth.
So I have a different context of a question. So, like these days, a lot of people are looking for validation. उनको लगता है कि हम जो कर रहे हैं, जो आपकी पूरी जर्नी रही है, उसमें आपने एक एक स्टेप्स लिया है. So हम लोग जैसे सोचते हैं कि अब जो मैं ये स्टेप ले रहा हूँ, क्या वो मैं सही ले रहा हूँ, क्या दूसरे पर्सन को ये सही लगेगा, दूसरे लोग क्या सोचेंगे? How was your thought process during entire this thing?
First of all, tell me one thing. Who governs your life?
We should, ideally.
We should.
Yes.
Yourself.
Yes, definitely.
So why should we should think about others? It is my satisfaction. It is I have to prove it, and I have to prove it to myself.
Absolutely.
Who is the other person to judge me? Nobody can judge you better than yourself.
So, when you wake up in the morning, what is your factor that is driving you every day? Like, if you want to tell us, what are your future plans? अब आगे और क्या क्या सोचा है आपने?
Actually, every day for me is a new life actually, and I'm actually too busy in fact. Busy in the sense because I have got 4 sports in my hand. You can just think that one person, a normal person, takes one sports.
Yes, mostly. Yeah.
Mostly, I think 99%.
Yeah.
One sports and they continue.
Yes.
I have got rowing in my hand. I have got swimming in my hand. I have got shooting and athletics now. So I have to divide accordingly and I concentrate on each and everything in a systematic way. Because I don't have to prove anyone.
Yes.
It is my life. And when somebody was asking me or telling me, okay, I don't have a time, it is you who have to
Yes.
channelize your time in fact.
Yes.
And for the future plans, now it is actually I'm concentrating on swimming and athletics. And let's see what happens in the new future because for swimming, I'll be going for my renewal of my license in November to Dubai in the World Para Swimming Championship because I have been given a temporary category which is will be renewed there.
Okay.
And thereafter, if my timing is good, I might get selected for the Asian Games.
Okay.
And athletics also, I just started. Let's see how far it goes. But definitely, I can assure you, we go to international level.
Definitely. We are all excited for this. Definitely. So your wife was always there with you during all of this journey, during your rehab days and all. So now to have your basics, how was your nutrition? How was your food intake during all this recovery period?
I will start with when I got married actually.
Okay.
When I got married, my weight was 75 or something. And Swata was 80. When my accident happened and I was struggling, she was also struggling.
Yes.
And the sports thing started.
Mm-hmm.
I think we both realized that we have to be fit actually.
Definitely, yes.
Then she started his, what you call, her own diet to reduce her weight and to be physically fit. Though most of the time we both are together only. Like sitting in a car or helping each other, giving motivation.
Yes.
So we have to be physically fit. I was doing exercise.
Yes.
I was going to gym.
Yes.
She started the same thing. And she lost almost 40 kgs.
Wonderful.
And she again gained the weight and because she became too thin and gained.
Underweight.
But now she is maintaining that 43, 44. And she then planned she will do a nutrition course. So that theoretically and practically it can be followed in a very
Yes, definitely.
proper
Science
way.
backed.
Now we are doing that only. We are having a healthy food. And thanks to Kuva Nutrition.
Can you throw some light that what are the process to get into the IAF? More than physically being fit, what are the mental factors and other factors actually that makes you get selected there?
Actually, not about only IF. It is all about the services, Army, Navy, and Air Force. They need a person who should be disciplined. They should have integrity, honesty, devotion. All these factors are required. And nowadays, and what I will advise them, like today, during our time, it is not become old. Our time, when we say usually our time means we didn't have mobile.
Yeah.
Now people are seeing mobile and
Yeah.
they get inspired by some reels and something.
Influencers.
They should rather be motivated. I don't know but people like us, people who have seen the life.
Yeah.
And motivation is not a thing that will come in one day. You have to build it yourself.
Yes. Setting a goal.
Setting a goal,
Yeah.
achieving that goal.
Yes.
And when integrity, discipline, and everything is there, they select the people with an attitude. They don't want soldiers. In defense, they don't want soldiers. They want warrior by character.
This is something amazing that I'm hearing. Yeah.
Because you have to fight a war not only on your physical thing.
Yes.
It is a mental challenge which matters.
Yeah.
If you want to become an officer, you have to have OSQ, what you call, officer-like qualities. And all these things, what I said, discipline and attitude, honesty,
Yes.
and integrity, it is all that part. And you have to see it yourself, you have to judge yourself to have all these things. Appear for SSB, CDS, they are different. Not only defense, paramilitary. There's a CPO exam, Central Police Organization. Wish them all the best. See less reels and get motivated by books, motivational books.
So, what would you like to say to the people who feel that they don't have a goal in life, or they feel that this is the end? Maybe, they don't have a journey after this.
I would just like to say for the people who don't have an ambition, just go through the inner feeling. Take a break from everything. Just think what is life. Life has a meaning and you have to, and life, you live only once.
Yes.
Have the never die attitude. You will not get a second chance. Like many people, like I have got
Yes.
a second chance and I am utilizing that thing.
Yes.
Don't wait that some bad thing happens and then you realize what you will achieve in life. You have been given a life. It is a one-time achievement. Just prove it.
Yes. It was really amazing, sir, to hear whatever I heard today, because I will be very honest. Like, you are right. Yes, we keep scrolling Instagram, we keep seeing reels, and we are like just very addicted to it. But a real life scenario like this, to be very honest, I haven't really heard something this, inspiring. Like a journey like this is going to be, when it is out there, when people are going to actually see it, they would actually understand the meaning of life. Because yes, we all wake up, we are like, yes, it's a normal routine, we'll go, and then for you, it was one day when you were like going to the office and everything changed for after that day. And how you have come out from it, and now the way you are living is so inspirational. And I don't want the people to just see and look at it from a point of view that, हाँ ठीक है, बस एक podcast है. नहीं. They should actually understand this, that there is a life apart from your WhatsApp, Instagram, or just your laptops. There is a real big life out there, and a lot of inspiration which actually inspires the younger generation. The entire message which you have now given is amazing. It's just really amazing. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to sit here and speak to you and understand everything that whatever I have read about you so far these many months.
Thank you very much. Thank you.